Hey there, good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show that is dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So, we're here, the series that we're running for the month of June, which is well, it's actually not mine, but it's 30 bands that had one member, maybe more, but in this case, one member that went on to play with a bigger or more commercially successful band. Not always the case that it was a bigger band. Depends on how you want to look at it. Today's might be a little bit of you got an argument going on, possibly. So the musician we're going to talk about came from this band, King Crimson, played actually on this album, and it's Ian McDonald. And Ian McDonald is a multi-instrumentalist. Then a few years later, in 1976, helped form this band, Foreigner. I don't have the first Foreigner album, so I'm just pulling up Double Vision here for a visual reference. So Ian McDonald, he multi-instrumentalist, helped formed King Crimson back in 1969, one of the first, if not the first, progressive rock album to be released. Um, he didn't left that band, and a few years later, along with other members of Foreigner, helped form Foreigner. Um, very different bands. One's much more commercial sounding, a kind of a almost pop hard rock band initially, and then just later pop band. But he wasn't with the band by the time they got more into the pop era, which came out started. I think it kind of started with four. The first three albums, pretty hard rockish, I think, and those are my three favorite albums, by the way. And so that's where he had his signature. So he went from being in what some argue as one of the greatest um, progressive rock bands of all time to going to an even bigger band that sold a ton more records and were much more well known. So there's an argument to be made there. Maybe it isn't really that big of a jump, but um, commercially it was a huge jump. So that was the musician we're talking about today, Ian McDonald, multi-instrumentalist, going over from King Crimson to Foreigner. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to talk about any of the bands or the Ian McDonald in the comment section, you can. If you'd rather just give your rendition of this, who went from what to what, you can do that as well. And I hope to see you all tomorrow for another episode of those 30 bands that had a member that went to a bigger or more commercially successful band. So take care and have yourself a good one, and goodbye.